What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. Current coin market cap sits at 246 bill. Bitcoin dominance is down a bit to 55.7%. The entire market is down a bit, obviously driven by Bitcoin's price decline to around 7,700. We retested close to 9K a couple of times, but we are now back down. So what I wanted to do today was take a look at what the retracements of the previous bull rally looked like. And this is especially salient on the 1 week chart. So here is the Bitcoin chart for the Bitcoin 1 week chart. And, excuse all this mess here. I'll explain it in a second. But if we take a look at Bitcoin's bull rally from December 2015 to December 2017, right? So it went from, in December 2015, it was under $500, and obviously we know the price that it hit in December 2017 of 20,000. We are now back over the 21-week EMA, and this is important because if you look at the 21-week EMA, historically, you could see that it tracks the bull and the bearish movements that BTC has had in the past, right? Every time it popped below the 21-week EMA, you see that sparked a bearish trend, and every time it popped above considerably, that sparked a bullish rally. Obviously, you have a few blips here and there, but we're talking about convincingly popped above or below the 21-week EMA. So looking at December 2015, I counted them. We had 6 major dips on the way up, right? So that's actually not that much for a 2-year period. We had 6 major dips. I'm talking about on the weekly, obviously. 6 major dips between December 2015 and December 2017. Now, I measured all of these dips and what they consisted of, and that way you get to garner a sense of what to expect during this bull rally. And yes, we are in a bull market. A bull market is loosely defined as an increase in 20%, usually after a market decline. So yeah, we're definitely in a bull market, and we have popped significantly above the 21-week EMA. Now let's look at these historical dips, right? In around January 2016, February 2016, we had a dip of 21%. And around March 2017, we had a dip of 25%. Around July of 2017, we had a dip of 25%. Around September 2017, we had a dip of 19%. Around November 2017, we had a 22%. This is very interesting considering that November to December was the most violent and aggressive bull rally that we've ever seen. And in January 2018, obviously, if we're counting that, that's what propelled the bear market, but we had a drop of 25%. So you could see that on the weekly, all of these dips consist of somewhere between 20 and 25%. Now, this current candle that we see here for this current week, obviously, this is a down week after, weeks of pumping up. Even the red candles that we've seen before back in, April, these 2 red weeks that you see here, they're really part of this sideways pattern. This part of this consolidation pattern after a bull rally. But this is the first significant dip that we've seen this current week, that we've seen in this bull rally. And it is now consistent of around 14% decline. So if we are to follow the dips of the past between 20 and 25%, what would that look like from current prices? Well, 20% would be around 7,100 and 25% would be around 6,700. Now, I'm not saying that it has to happen with this current candle. Obviously, during this run-up, we've had tons of red candles that didn't amount to 20 or 25% drops. It's just good to know what to expect to use it as a guide in your trading. That way, you're not caught off guard and you're able to set stop limits and exit and, find your entry points, etc. Maybe buy more BTC on the dip and figure out what those dips could be based on precedents, right? The best predictor of future events is past behavior or past events. And such is true in the market. So mark my words, I'm not saying that we are going to see 20 or 25% on the specific candle, but you do want to know what 20 or 25% drop looks like from the current position so you could set yourself up. Now, here is what's grim to most of you short-term traders, is that Bitcoin can actually drop to around the 21-week EMA and still be on a bull rally, right? And currently the 21-week EMA sits at around 6,100. Now, I wouldn't want this to happen because, you know, I identify the 6,500 mark that you see here, where we dropped off, this cliff that you see here, where we dropped off in November. This is, for me, the point at which we've identified that Bitcoin was at a reversal. Once Bitcoin crossed this, then you were able to make a conclusive determination that Bitcoin was in an uptrend reversal rally, right? So I wouldn't want to fall below 6,500, but technically, if you draw a trend line here, you know, you can see that if Bitcoin does fall to 6,100, it would still be within the parameters of this upward trend. So for short-term traders, that is not good news, but for those that understand long-term trends in the market and are patient, that's fine, because in my case, I would just buy these dips. Now, what is my actual outlook on the market currently? Well, let's look at the 1 day real quick. If you look at the 1 day, obviously we had golden crosses all over the board. We saw that between the 50 and the 200 back in April. We saw between the 100 and the 200 back in May, just last month. So this is, you know, still a fresh batch of golden crosses, if you will. But we are seeing some downside action on the RSI, some downside action on the MACD, and these haven't shown an indication of curling yet. Obviously, these can curl pretty quickly. Cumulative volume is declining ever so slightly. So I do think that in the short term, we will probably see somewhere around a 7,200, 7,300 drop and a continuation of the bullish rally. That is my outlook currently. Now, on the flip side, see, for me, looking at this pattern, I mean, if you've been reading charts for a long time, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this pattern would be really weird if we just saw, you know, a rally in Bitcoin from this level. It would not make sense from a pattern perspective. Obviously, the market can do whatever it wants, and it has done that before. But from a more logical perspective, like barring any sort of short squeeze or some sort of event that propels Bitcoin based on historical uptrends, I would expect to see either Bitcoin hit that level, you know, around 7,200, which would bring it to the support of this trend line, or you could actually see it trade sideways for a bit. We know Bitcoin does have a tendency and an ability to trade sideways for an insane amount of time. So it definitely could trade sideways for a little bit before propelling upwards again. So in my view, currently, it's not all doom and gloom for Bitcoin. I know that, you know, if just based off some of the comments left in the Discord that we have, there are a few people that have a very doomish and gloomish scenario, but I think that is the most likely, based on the current uptrend and the current bull market, that is the most likely movement, especially with these golden crosses. You rarely see on Bitcoin's chart golden crosses happen and then fail so quickly. A couple of long-term trades I'm looking at, QKC being one of them. If you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. If you need help with one-on-one technical analysis, that same link is also in the description. I take a max of 10 people per month. I'm maxed out for the month of June, so the next openings I have will be in July. But QKC and ZIL have very identical charts. You see this potential double bottom here, and you want to see these long-term double bottoms usually play out really nicely in markets where you see, you know, a bottom form, where you see a bottom formed months ago, right? This is August 2018, and that bottom reached again. And then once the volume starts increasing, as we see here, then you usually see a rally from that point forward, right? So definitely looking at QKC and ZIL. On the stock side, our Tesla trade is absolutely killing it. Tesla dropped 53% in 6 months, and then it hit a low that we haven't seen since November 2016. And just what I was saying, you know, on QKC, if you look at Tesla, this double bottom here, it looks almost the same, but this spans over years. Obviously, the stock market is a lot more ancient than the crypto market, but you'll see that in November 2016, Tesla hit the same mark that we're at currently, and it is now using that level for this nice bounce up. We are up around 20% on Tesla, closer to 15%. Sorry, we're up 15% on Tesla. Another stock I'm looking at is UWT. This is obviously the crude oil ETF, almost forming a double bottom as well between December 2018 and current prices now, and it is showing oversold on the RSI. This definitely looks like a juicy setup. As Warren Buffett once said, I'm more comfortable when they're going down. That's when I like buying. I like buying in the red. That is the best time to buy, because think about it, right? When people are panic selling, when this is declining, someone is selling their share, but they're not selling their share to the exchange. They're selling their share to an actual individual. Who is that person that's buying at these levels, right? That's the person that you eventually want to be in your trading career. You want to be the person that is buying at these levels, right? Anyway, that is it for this video. Short, sweet video for you today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell if you want access to the trade alerts. You get the stock trade alerts as well as the crypto trade alerts, and you're automatically entered to the 0.03 Bitcoin drawing that I do every month. It's getting really expensive, but that is for the diamond traders and above level. It'll cost you less than a cup of coffee a week, and I think that is a small price to pay for invaluable trading information. You get to be part of our trading community as well and chat with other traders and talk strategy, etc. Anyway, you know what it is. Link is in the description. Sign up. Hit that thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. Leave a comment if you have a question or a comment. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.